Hi everyone, welcome back to the Societal Standard Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the state of society and different industries and kind of explore what's going on now post-COVID. Today we're going to be talking about the hospitality industry. In my opinion, hospitality industry was taken for granted for a long time, and then when we realized we can't travel, we can't go anywhere, we saw how kind of vital it was, how it was kind of intrinsic in everything that we did, to be able to go out and have fun, and how it really did change very, very quickly. So on today's show, we're going to be exploring a little story about a friend of mine and how his realizations, and I think that how a lot of the realizations of a lot of the people around the world, how that's going to change the hospitality industry in general. And now I hope you enjoy a little bit of story time. No one knew how much they would miss the sound of a busy dining room, the clash of plates, the sounds of bartenders shaking drinks, the jovial laughter of a night out. The last person to think it would all go away was Christopher Harkin, a man who dedicated his life to hospitality, the industry he grew up in. It was my father who showed me how beautiful the industry could be. Since I was young, him and I traveled everywhere, switching from hotel to hotel, from country to country. You see, he worked in hotels, and he exposed me to some of the kindest people I've ever met. I remember Martha, the hotel cafeteria worker from Haiti, everyone's third grandma. Beloved by all, she showed me and everyone she met a kindness and warmth that lit up everyone's day. She would say,
"Warmth and kindness is how we change the world, one person at a time."
Since then, Chris dedicated himself to hospitality in hopes of becoming one of the people that bring change through warmth and kindness. He was very successful at this for many years, until an event happened that would change not just his life, but the life of so many people. I remember hearing murmurs of shutting down due to COVID, but people said it would just be 2 weeks. Needless to say, we were wrong. 3 months into being held in my flat like a dove in a birdcage, I began to lose my sanity. I went from seeing, speaking, and having deep conversations with guests every day to absolute solitude. From hearing amazing stories to hearing the incessant paw scratches of my neighbor's dog. Chris asked himself if the industry that he committed his life to could disregard him so easily. Did he make the right decision by following in his father's footsteps? Did he unknowingly leave his old life, expecting to go back to a reality that would never return? It took me 6 months of solitude and a few mental breakdowns to give me clarity about my job. The love I had for my job led me to ignore my own time and my work-life balance. I ignored my own mental wellness for the good of the company. When necessary, I cut ties with my family and never looked back. Now that things are slowly opening back up again, I see a white light at the end of the tunnel. But I, like many of my colleagues, no longer want to sacrifice ourselves for these workplaces. Now these employers have to sacrifice themselves a bit for us. And with this single realization, the same realization shared by so many after this lifetime event, a cascade effect began that will inevitably mold the standards of the hospitality industry moving forward. Companies will no longer move forward without the consideration of the values of its employees, but it will embody those values in the face of losing the workforce that is the backbone of the industry. Wow, I think we can all admit that story is, impactful and not uncommon at all. I feel like this is the story of a lot of people, not just in the hospitality industry, but in industries all over the world, in all forms of economy. People now don't want to sacrifice their own happiness for a paycheck. The pandemic, COVID, it really hit people hard, where they found themselves with nothing. They found themselves with no job and no money, and they were able to find some semblance of happiness. And aside from what they were doing, from the jobs that they were working and the lives they were living, they were able to find happiness. They were able to find happiness, and now that things are going back to normal, they don't want to sacrifice it. They see that the job and the money isn't what provides happiness for them. It is, life. It is family. It is being able to go to the beach. It is being able to being able to travel. Those are all the things that kind of make people happy. And it is time that these companies kind of see it, and they are seeing it. We see that they're trying to make an attempt to provide employees with a semblance of what they think will make them happy. I've seen commercials or ads where they're paying McDonald's employees $20 to start, and that is ungodly amounts of money and unheard of. But are people working? No, people are staying home. People are trying to live their lives. Why are they trying to just live their lives? They're trying to do that because they value, like in the story, they value personal time. They value a work-life balance, and especially the hospitality industry, it is known for robbing you of your personal time, robbing you of your own happiness. And it's unfair to say that that's just the fault of the hospitality industry, but statistically, we are the second hospitality is the second most likely industry to have drug use and alcoholism. Those things are undeniable. Those are coping mechanisms that people use, and now people do not want to go back to work. They don't want to go back to work in a situation where they do not feel appreciated, they do not feel valued. They know now that they could be, they are expendable, more so than ever before. They feel expendable. They don't want to go back. So what is the hospitality industry to do? The hospitality industry is already changing. It's already moving forward, and you can see that. You can see that the hospitality industry is trying to prioritize. They're sending out memos. They're sending out. They're taking their managers to training where they are trying to help people realize that we're trying to create a family value. We're trying to create a work-life balance. We're trying to give people a little bit of hope where there was none, where they can make money and be able to be happy. They've shown studies that people will take a pay cut to be happy and at their job. They will take a pay cut to be at peace, and in a hectic environment like the hospitality industry, now more than ever, people have to be able to kind of give people peace. These jobs have to be able to kind of give people a semblance of peace, and I think that is where the hospitality industry is heading now. I think that this story is just one example of many where people are making a stand, and they're standing up for their rights to happiness. And I think that that's how the hospitality industry is going to change.